Today, let's talk about the supplement magnesium. We hear a lot about magnesium, that everybody should be taking it. There are tons of different kinds as far as different salts of magnesium, and it's hard to know which one is the right one for you. So let's talk a little bit about what a magnesium deficiency feels like or looks like, because that kind of helps you make the decision as to whether or not you want to take magnesium, and then we'll go through the different ones as far as that's concerned, and we'll find the one that's right for you, or you can at least think about which one that you want to go with. So magnesium deficiency, a lot of times people experience it because they will wake up in the middle of the night and they'll have cramping in their legs or in their calves or in some part of their body. Other people, it shows up a little bit in muscle weakness, so they don't really have the strength, or more often it's endurance that they would have had before. So they naturally think of something that is going to help with that process. And magnesium is a great one to think about. We don't really get as much of magnesium in our food anymore as we used to, based upon the way that our food is grown. So I, for one, take a magnesium supplement. If you are somebody who is physically active, your body does what we call burns through it more. In other words, it uses it to do all of the things that we want to do. Like for me, it's I want to dance for 3 hours and have it feel really nice and wake up the next day and not be all crampy and sore, and I want to still relish in the fun from the night that I had before. So we're going to go through and meet the boys in the band, so to speak, the magnesium, the different salts, and talk about what each one of them does and the advantages that one may have over another one. So the first one I want to talk about is magnesium carbonate. Now, magnesium carbonate, if you're thinking like the boys in the band, this is the one that gets the party started. So it's fairly inexpensive, it's well absorbed, and the third thing that's for some people may be a little bit tricky or challenging on is that it has a tendency to stimulate the gastrointestinal tract. In other words, if you take too much of it or too quickly, or any of it at all, for some people that have very active gastrointestinal tracts, tummies and intestines, they get a little diarrhea. So it's something to be aware of, but again, it's cheap, it's effective, and it's readily available. The next one that I want to talk about is magnesium glycinate. Now this one works really well also. It's a little bit more expensive. It's pretty readily available, but you can think of this as kind of the chill guy in the band, you know. This is the one that's going to really calm you down if you especially have a tendency to be anxious or excited. This is a place that I would start with the magnesiums because, again, it's pretty easy to get, it's not super expensive, and it does work really well. The third one, and I kind of think of this one as the person that goes along with the band, doesn't really do anything, just kind of hangs out, and is a little bit supportive, and that's magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide is used as a magnesium supplement. It's been around forever. The challenge with it is it doesn't work that well because it's not very well absorbed. It is really cheap, but it is even more prone to cause diarrhea, especially as you try to bump the dose up to get what it is that you need in order to have the magnesium. So this is the one that I'm kind of like, if you want something super cheap that maybe might kind of work, this is the one. The next one I want to talk about is magnesium maleate. And this is the one that you can kind of think of as the Energizer Bunny. Or this is a person who's always got something going on and something happening, got lots of energy, ready to go. That's what this one is for. So if you find, especially in the middle of the afternoon, you're kind of dragging, or you want a little energy boost and you know it's magnesium that you need, boom. This is going to be the one for you. The next one I want to talk about is magnesium threonate. And magnesium threonate, sometimes they call it magnesium L-threonate. So sometimes they throw the L in. That is another salt of the magnesium. It's a little bit more expensive, but this one is really helpful for brain processing. So I kind of refer to this as the brainiac of the group. So this is the one who can do all kinds of stuff to figure out how the tour works and all of the other. Anyway, they're really the thinking, mindful kind of person. And this really helps and promotes that piece of it. So again, that's magnesium L-threonate. And this one is a little bit more expensive. It's pretty readily available as far as that's concerned. The last one I want to talk about is not something that you take, but it is something like, for example, magnesium oil. People will use that and put it on the back of their calves. Or it might be that an Epsom salt bath or some kind of magnesium that you put in the water and that you soak. The jury's out. Some people find it extremely helpful. The clinical data is kind of but then again, who's going to support doing a lot of research on something that is pretty readily available and not do a lot for patents and those kinds of things. So not as much research has been done, so it's really kind of iffy. But hey, if it works for you, that's awesome. The other thing that I want to tell you about magnesium is those are the options, but the other thing that you need to do or know about is when to take it. So especially at night, it's nice because it helps sleep, especially if you're getting the muscle cramping or any of those kinds of things. The other thing to remember is not to take a big whopping dose, because what happens is your body takes it in and it goes, that's too much, I don't need that. It doesn't hold on to it. So doing it in divided doses if you need more than the minimum, I would say, of magnesium. I take it generally in late afternoon and at bedtime, especially if I've been dancing, because I want my muscles to be really able to absorb and use that magnesium, because I might have been out dancing for like 2 or 3 hours and burned it all off. So I need to replenish. And it really helps me sleep well. I do take the magnesium carbonate and mix it sometimes with the L-threonate. So that's it about magnesium. So please like and follow. Ask me any questions you have. This is part of the supplement series that I've been doing. So again, my name is Diana Devi from An Ageless Life, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye for now. And remember, aging is a privilege. Bye.